The call to action is the last thing someone reads before they click or don't. And yet it's one of the most overthought, overcomplicated, and under-strategized parts of most email programs. I want to talk about what actually makes a CTA work, why simple almost always wins, and the mistakes that are costing brands clicks every single day. I'm Laryssa, and for a decade with my agency, Joya, I've been helping women-focused, product-based e-commerce brands grow with more intention, creativity, and clarity. We ditch the marketing formulas that don't feel like you and build strategies that actually connect. The call to action is technically a small thing, a button, a few words, a link, but it's also the moment everything in your email is building toward. It's the last step between someone reading and someone clicking. And for something that important, I think it gets way too little strategic thought in most email programs. What I see instead is one of two extremes. Either the CTA is completely ignored, shop now, just slapped on every button without much thought, the same wording across every email, no thought given to whether it's actually doing its job, or it's wildly overthought. Someone spent 20 minutes trying to make the button sound clever and ended up with copy that nobody instantly understands. Both of those can be problems. And today I want to talk through what actually works with CTAs. There's this pressure in email marketing to really make CTAs sound unique, but I will tell you that Shop Now has survived decades of email marketing for a reason. It's clear, it's direct, and people know exactly what happens when they click it. Okay, clever CTAs can work sometimes, but I think when clever is getting in the way of clarity, you've lost the click. Here's a practical framework worth keeping in mind. The strongest CTAs almost always follow a simple formula. Ready for a grammar lesson? Verb plus a noun or a short descriptor, like shop now, learn more, get started, buy now, claim your spot. That's it. 2 words, maybe 3 tops. If your button text needs more than that to make sense, or you think that that will compel someone in some kind of extra special way, that context really belongs in a headline or your body copy and not on the button. The button's only job is to make the next step obvious. Everything else, you're just causing friction and confusion. And friction and confusion are exactly what kill clicks. The CTA mistake I see most often is trying too hard. The button text gets super long, it gets kind of precious, it's trying to be funny or on brand in a way that makes the reader stop and think. And stopping to think is actually the last thing you want someone doing right before they click. A CTA's only job is not to make someone chuckle or think how clever. It's to make the next step super obvious, to get someone to do the next thing. And anything that causes a pause is working against you. Let me paint a picture here. Imagine opening an email that has 5 different buttons. It can be pretty normal for a more lengthy email. Each one says something slightly different. One says, shop the collection. One says, discover what's new. One says, find your perfect match. One says, explore now. One says, get yours today. Every single one of those is technically a CTA, and I guess they could all work on their own in their own email. But what's the email actually asking you to do here? Which one are you supposed to click? Where are you supposed to go? Which one matters? The answer is nobody knows. And when nobody knows, nobody clicks. The email did all this work building up to a moment of action, and then offered 5 different doors with no indication of which one to walk through. That's one of the most common ways I see CTAs underperform. And this is not even because the copy is bad, because all those examples I gave, as I said, they would work fine on their own in their own emails. But because there are too many of them pulling in too many directions, it gets really confusing and overwhelming, which brings me to something I feel really strongly about. But before I get into that and how to actually structure your CTAs within an email, a quick break to tell you about JoyJoya. We partner with women-focused e-commerce brands to turn their email and SMS channels into true growth engines. Our clients typically see a 30 to 40% lift in revenue within the first 90 days. Visit joyjoya.com to see what we can do for you. So I feel strongly about having one primary goal per email. I know that can feel limiting, especially if you have a lot of things to say, a lot of updates to share, a lot of different products to promote. But the best performing emails are almost always pushing one decision first, not the shop the collection and read the blog and follow on Instagram and take the quiz all at the same level. There should be one goal that's really leading and driving the car of the email. Everything else can be there, but it follows and it's further down in the email. I'm not saying that an email can only have one button. It just means that an email has a clear hierarchy. There's your primary call to action, the thing you most want someone to do, and that should appear first, repeat throughout, and be the dominant action in the email. Shop this collection, shop now, get the deal. One of those, that's your through line. And if you want to include secondary touch points like that blog post or asking for an Instagram follow or a shop all link at the very bottom, those can absolutely live in the email, but they belong at the end, clearly, visually distinguished from the main goal of the email, from the main event, rather than competing with it. So think of them as kind of like the fine print of your email and not the headline. A lot of brands worry about repeating the same CTA multiple times in one email. But if someone is ready to click after the first sentence and the button isn't there, you've missed them. If they have to scroll to the bottom and it says something completely different, now they're confused. So repeating a clear CTA throughout an email isn't repetitive or overwhelming. It's actually meeting people wherever they are in the process of scrolling. Put the first CTA above the fold, which means before they have to scroll. Put it again somewhere in the middle, and then again near the bottom. I would suggest the same wording or close to the same wording, maybe like small variation, and have it go to the same destination, like a collection page or a product page. So the goal is to be visible without diluting the focus of the email. You're never overwhelming anyone with choices. Instead, you're making sure that one correct choice, one goal, one destination is impossible for them to miss. Now, I also want to touch on the topic of first person versus second person in CTAs, because this comes up sometimes. First person CTAs, things like get my discount, claim my discount instead of get your discount, shop with your discount, whatever it may be. They can perform really well because they kind of pre-frame the action as already belonging to the person reading the email. But whether it works depends on your brand voice. If your brand is more warm and conversational, I think first person might feel natural. But if your brand is more editorial or aspirational, it might feel a little bit off to shift to first person in CTAs. In this case, I would really let the brand voice lead rather than this like tactic, I would say. So I'd never tell a brand to switch all their CTAs to first person just because it's like maybe going to help them optimize. But try it if it works for your brand voice and see how it feels in context. If it sounds natural to you, great. But if it sounds like you're doing some kind of conversion rate optimization exercise, then your subscribers are going to feel that too. If you're struggling to write a CTA, it's usually a sign that the email itself isn't clear enough yet. The button text should be the most obvious thing in the email. And as I said before, it's a natural next step that follows directly from what you just said or what you have been saying in the email. And when it feels hard to write, that's usually the email telling you that something else needs to be clarified before you start optimizing that CTA. So if you're staring at a button and nothing's really feeling right, maybe stop trying to fix the button and go back to the email, sharpen the headline, clarify what is the goal of the email, what are you actually offering, make the value obvious. And then I think the CTA kind of almost writes itself. Those clear ones: shop now, shop all, buy now, add to cart, see what's new. They're simple, they're direct. It's kind of impossible to misunderstand them. And even though they may sound boring and sometimes repetitive, I hate to say it, but that is what converts. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe for more tips. And if you're serious about scaling your e-commerce brand through email and SMS, head to joyjoya.com to learn more.